got, I mean, it's not breaking news, but I think it finally got finalized. Late yesterday, it finally came through as factual. Bill Belichick has joined the coaching ranks, and he is going to be the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. It had been reported maybe earlier that day or the previous day that an agreement had been reached, but it was the way it was worded was kind of funny. It was like an agreement has been reached, but the university is going to let Bill know in 24 hours. And I'm like, well, you can't have an agreement if you're going to let them know. Like, it's either a done deal or not. Deal finally came to fruition late yesterday. I think it was close to 5:00 when they finally put out the news that it was official. He had his introductory press conference today. And yeah, in my estimation, one of the 5 greatest coaches, regardless of sport, is going to be in college. And so your reaction, you're thinking about my statement there. So I'm going to let that marinate just in case you want to rebuttal that. But
no, I'm just trying to think of the other 4. He's in 5. I was trying to think of the other 4.
I mean, I think
Bill
you have
Jackson.
to look at Red Auerbach, I think, is up there. I think you have to look at Vince Lombardi, I would say Bill Walton, excuse me.
Pat Summitt. Yeah, that's what you were gonna say. Actually, she might be fringe 5 now. She might be top 7.
I'm blanking on his name. I can see his face, the Wizard of Westwood. Bill Walton adored him. He had the principles, the pyramid of the principles. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Oh my God. It's gonna make me mad when I finally after I Google this.
It's easy.
It is.
It's super easy. It is.
I'm trying to get it before I hit enter on this search, but it's not coming to me. John Wooten.
What I was gonna say Wooten for some reason. I was like, whoa.
Well, so Morgan Wooten is one of the legendary high school basketball coaches of all time.
Okay. Anyways.
I mean, listen, there's an argument that Roy Williams is as great a coach as Coach K was, but that's another argument for another day. Shout out to Trent. But no, John. So I think you got to go Vince Lombardi. I think John Wooden. You got to go. I don't know if you can put Coach K. Nick Saban.
Gino Auriemma.
Man, yeah. Listen, compiling a list of the top 5 greatest. Dan Gable, who's a wrestling coach who coached at Iowa, who won like a bajillion championships. You can throw him in the mix. You can throw Scotty. I'm blanking on his name. Who coached the Detroit Red Wings? Scotty Bowman. You can throw. That's a really hard list to pare down. Yeah. But to me, in my estimation, Bill Belichick is one of the 5 greatest coaches to ever coach a game, regardless of sport.
Yeah,
he's joining the college ranks. And your reaction to Bill Belichick being a college head coach?
I don't know, man. I have absolutely no clue. Like, I feel like he was more of a coach for adults. Like, I'm interested to see what it looks like with 17, 18, 19-year-old kids, because we already knew how New England, right, ran their team. The minute you wanted money, you were gone. Now, I don't know if that was mostly Robert Kraft or if it was a mixture of him and Bill Belichick, right? So now you're going to where you have less mature kids that are literally in it for the money only, because it's a pit stop, right? So like college is a pit stop. It's like NFL is like, oh yeah, you might be here for some years, and So I'm interested to know X's and O's wise. I think he's going to hire the right people. X's and O's wise, I think he's already brought in Freddie Kitchens. Well, Freddie Kitchens was already at North Carolina. I think that was his first hire. Not mad at that at all. So I think he's going to bring in the right staff. I'm just kind of interested to see. But they had Mac Brown. I think they might be getting younger. I'm not sure how old Bill Belichick is.
By 1 year.
By 1 year. They're getting younger by 1 year. Okay.
Mac Brown is 73. Bill Belichick is 72. And I think I don't think it's a full calendar year. It might be like 6 months.
Yeah. So shout out to them for getting younger at the position. So I'm interested to see. ACC, we know, is up for the taking. I think it's a conference that is like, you bring in something. North Carolina could be in contention next year, just the same way as SMU, Clemson and who was the team that got knocked out late?
Miami.
Miami. Oh yeah. So I think North Carolina. I don't think it's a situation where he's going to have to spend 4, 5, 6 years or whatever trying to position himself. I mean, with the right thing, I think he can get up there and contend.
So here's the thing, and I saw Andy Staples from On Three Sports put this tweet out, but his contract is basically set up like an NFL contract. The first 3 years are guaranteed, and then the final 2 are kind of up in the air. My concern, here's the thing.
Yes, he'll be alive
Maybe
long enough.
I think Bill might have looked at LeBron James and gotten a little bit of inspiration. I don't know how true this is, but it was reported that part of his hiring also meant that his son, I believe Steve, who was at the University of Washington this year as the defensive coordinator, gets to be his successor when he leaves.
Makes sense.
Now, I don't know if that's in writing. That was reported as one of the contingencies of his hiring would be that.
Did he do that with Gerard Mayo, or was that?
I don't know if it was him or Robert Kraft, because I saw an interview where Robert Kraft said that he knew 5 years ago that Gerard Mayo was going to be the next head coach. So I don't know. Maybe Bill did set that up, but I don't know if Bill looked at LeBron and saw some inspiration and said, let me set my son up for his future. Shout out to Mullethead Sports, says Jag should have signed Bill. Now I'm stuck with Doug Peterson. He called him something else. Peter Bum. I mean, I need to read the story. Seth Wickersham.
I would have loved Bill Belichick to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars only to finish the year with Mac Jones. I think it would have been hilarious.
That would have been hilarious. I saw Seth Wickersham report that Bill Belichick was disgusted with the hiring practices of the NFL and who they were hiring. And I really want to talk to Bill and ask him, okay, who were you disgusted with? Like, what coach has a job? Like, is it Matt Eberflus? I know he was critical of coaches in game decision making and how they handle clock management and all that stuff. So I really want to know which coaches was he dissatisfied with and go, I know I'm better than that guy. Like, just name them. Call them out, coach.
Because there's a few of them out there. I'm okay with
There's a few. There's a few. I don't know. Was he looking at any of his former proteges? Or is he looking at the head coach of the Giants? Like, is he looking at Brian Daboll and going, I can coach circles around this guy, right? Or is he trying to think what other head coaches out there that have made like some Antonio Pierce, right? He's looking at Antonio Pierce and going, I could do better than him, right? But I'm skeptical, man. I don't know. The people who played for New England have said they hated it. Right? The winning masked all of their disdain for how he ran his organization, his program. So how are kids going to react to this? He talked about in his, manifesto, I guess, that he handed to Carolina reportedly, that he was going to turn this into a college to pro pipeline for those who have the talent. And I'm going, you're not reinventing the wheel here, sir. This is what Bama does yearly. This is what Florida. This is what Carolina some years put several guys into the league. So I'm just like, okay, what does that mean? You're not recruiting is all about showing your personality. Now, to be fair to him, lots of his players say that Bill Belichick is an hilarious guy once you get to know him behind the scenes. So maybe he's going to show that off.
And Nick Saban didn't have the greatest personality either. So I do think that there are. I mean, he does now, but I mean,
no.
And that's what I'm saying. He might have had it.
Nick Saban was electric sliding at families' houses. Like Nick Saban knew how to turn it on. Once he got with these families. There's and people, you think I'm joking? No, there's video of Nick Saban doing a line dance at a black family's house. So the GOAT of college coaches got out the game because the kids cared about things other than winning. And so Bill Belichick, who is the slogan for the Patriots was do your job. How are you going to get kids who care more so about money and playing time, individual pursuits? How are you going to get them to care about giving that up for the good of the team? That would be amazing. Shout out to Mullerhead Sports. He goes, Saban next UNC coordinator. That would be if he were to pull that off. What
I like
an
him better on TV.
incredible. How does he get away with cursing on? But like, it's like 9 a.m. and he is dropping all kind of curse words. And I'm like, how does ESPN not getting FCC fines for this? Because I mean, every clip I see him, I'll bleep it.
I see Pat McAfee cussing all the time on the Pat McAfee show.
I also, again, I wonder how he's able to. I know,
I think it's a different time period now. I think they're allowed to do so much.
Or ESPN is just like they got the swear jar and they're just writing the FCC a check every time they does it.
Yeah.
This is hilarious. Now you got me wanting to build the rest of this Pat McAfee special teams coordinator. I mean, he really could. Kirk Herbstreit could be the QB coach. We can keep it going. Desmond could be wide receivers coach.
Jason Kelsey going to go coach the offensive line.
Jason as the O line coach. I mean, that would be a crazy lineup though if he was able to pull that off. By the way,
if that happened, we need Hard Knocks at North Carolina for next year. That's all I know. That's all I know.
I mean, look, I know Notre Dame has a kind of behind-the-scenes season right now. I think with Amazon, I would love nothing more. And to me, it's the kind of thing that if Saban wants to prove that he has shed some of this gruff exterior, it's the very thing that he should do is have Amazon show up and do it behind the scenes of North Carolina, because this is what college is about. College is about promoting the brand at all costs.
Yeah, most
right. Definitely. And you've got to be able to do that better than your competitors.
Just look at Colorado. I mean,
so speaking of, at the end, I have a question for you. When they are finally finished coaching, who do you think will have had a better college coaching career, Prime or Bill Belichick?
Oh, Deion. Well, good question. I think Deion needs to win something. I think he needs a Big 12 championship or a college football playoff berth or something like that. I think Bill Belichick. I mean, so this is Deion's first year, right? Like first good year. I don't know how much longer he's going to coach in college. So that's
I think he's committed. I think he's committed through at least the next 2 years. I just think because they got a top flight or top rated quarterback. They've already talked of, high profile kids coming from some, Bamas and Clemsons and Floridas of the world who might go. So I think at least the next 2 years for sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Then I'm staying with Deion, but I do think he needs at least like a Big 12 championship.
So what are your expectations for Belichick in his first year?
First year, I expect him to go to a bowl game.
I don't have any. Carolina's going to a bowl game this year.
Yeah, I don't have any further expectations than that, other than them going to a bowl game. I would say the over/under should be set at 7.5, probably.
Okay. Not mad at that. Carolina to me has had talent. Their issue has been in closing games. They lost a game to Georgia Tech this year where they gave up like a 65-yard touchdown run with like 30 seconds left on the clock. They were playing for a potential field goal. They might have actually been playing for overtime, to be honest with you, because I think they might have been starting that drive on like Georgia Tech like 30-yard line. And I think they were simply going to run the ball and run the clock out, and they gave up the touchdown. So they lost in some excruciating ways in Carolina this year. And so I think they can get to 8 wins, assuming they don't have heavy losses in the portal.
Yeah,
they could probably get to 8 wins, just some better coaching. Let's see. I feel like
I know SEC did. I don't know if all the other conferences did or not.
Let's find out real quick.
They went 6-6, but they gave up a lot of points, a lot of times.
Again, man, they were in a lot of games. They just gave up leads. So they got next year TCU to start the season at home, at Charlotte, Richmond, UFC, Cal. They're part of the ACC now. NC State, Clemson, Duke, Stanford, Virginia, Syracuse, Wake Forest. I mean, that is not a tough schedule.
No.
It's not a tough schedule. Syracuse, and that was a 9-win team.
Kyle McCord back?
Yes.
Tennessee plays. We open the season against them.
Syracuse, unless he decides to leave, which I can't see it, but Syracuse 9-win team. I think NC State was bowl eligible. Obviously, Clemson is always good. Duke, although they lost their quarterback in the portal, was a decent team. But Stanford sub 500, Virginia sub 500. I think Wake Forest sub 500. UCF, I also think was sub 500.
The year Tennessee won the national championship, we started against Syracuse. Oh yeah. Beat Donovan McNabb on a game-winning field goal.
I think I remember that game at Syracuse, right?
Yep, at Syracuse.
I think I remember that game.
This year we
played Donovan McNabb in Atlanta. Marvin Harrison.
I think Marvin had already left. I'm not sure, but it would have been 98, and I think Marvin. Yeah, because I think wasn't Marvin at the Colts before Peyton got there? I think he was. Yeah.
Let's find out. He joined the Colts in 96.
Yep. So
yeah, he was gone.
Yeah, Peyton got there in 98. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. So let us know what y'all think, man. What y'all think about Bill Belichick? Can he be successful? How long will he be there? Will he be there beyond 3 years? Hit us up at Brands and Bars on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All right. So let's get into this next